So Mike Michalkow, my drum teacher, very happy to have you as my drum teacher. You've been excellent. You've really challenged me. I love it. Meeting you 2 years ago at VIP Week, and you took me under your wing. And I think the best part of that was my morning sessions with you guys, and you directing us through all those fantastic workshops. And now things have changed. We've got this incredible worldwide, this pandemic with COVID.
Yes.
And we've all had to sort of reinvent ourselves. How have you, Mike, reinvented yourself with your education?
Well, reinvent and then also, you know, sort of recoup, if we want to call it that, you know, because when the pandemic hit, here we are at my awesome little studio here at the Langley Community Music School, where I used to spend, you know, at least teaching 25 students a week here, you know, at school. And then when the pandemic hit, it just kind of stopped. And then the option was for a lot of students to continue online or quit. I wish they wouldn't have given the option to quit, but a lot of them did. And for very good reason, I understand. So there was a reinvention, okay, because I had to slowly build my online presence again, which is another reason for this type of video, is the online presence, because we don't know where this is going to all go. We hope this is going to get solved sooner than later, but things may not be back to normal for everybody on a mental side, even if the vaccine is here and some people are afraid to be around other people, you know. We're not wearing masks right now, but we've been around each other a lot. You're not sick, I'm not sick. But if I go to a public place, I'm wearing a mask, you know. So am I so quick to want to jump into something, you know, with a group of people? Maybe, but it always depends. Nobody wants to get sick and nobody wants to, you know, slow their lives down. So for me, I was just really trying to push the online thing by, you know, getting my name out there. And I kind of thought, you know, I haven't really had a name behind what I've been doing for a while. I mean, when I had there was many years ago, I owned a music school called the Langley Music Connection, LMC for short, and that was from 2000 to 2008. Then when I moved my business from the business to the home, I changed it, because once again, change is always good, and it was called Mike's Drum Lab. Like I had that, you know. So, and a lab is kind of a place where you experiment and you try things, and you know, this is what I thought about when it came to having a name, and it was actually on my business license and everything like that. And then I hadn't really had that for a while because I was just sort of freelance drum teacher, you know, and didn't really have a name behind me. My business cards just said Mike Michalkow, drummer, instructor. And, you know, kind of coming to the pandemic, I thought, you know, let's reinvent yourself with a name. You've already had 2 names before, why not a third one? So I kind of put the word out to a lot of the students that, you know, on the masterclass, you know, we have the masterclass page, and I thought, you know, what do I don't know, what are we going to call this thing, you know, Mike's Reinvention of Drumming. It's like, no, nothing like that. And I didn't really know, so I just put the word out there, and people started sending me things, and I think it had something like Mike Michalkow's Drumming Academy, and I thought that just sounded too academic. No pun intended with the word. And I just thought, I don't know, that can scare some people away. It's got to be fun. It's got to be inviting. And I kind of hummed and hawed, and I thought, I don't know if I like the name. And then some other names started to pop up. Now, you know what we're calling us now, right?
Yes.
What is it?
The M2 Drum Dojo.
The M2 Drum Dojo. And
Where did that come
actually,
from?
I didn't invent that. That's from 2 different students. I teach a lot of martial artists, okay, like a lot of yourself included, right?
Yes.
You did martial arts for many years, right? And I'm sure you can take care of yourself if you wanted to. And so one of my martial arts students who studies Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's studied other arts over the years, said, you got to have something with the name dojo in it. And I kind of went, I don't know, that sounds a little risky considering it's so martial art oriented. And then another student, he said M squared or M2 or MM, and I was kind of bouncing back and forth, you know, MM Drum Dojo, M squared drum dojo, M2 Drum Dojo. I don't know, what am I going to do? And then I thought, well, wait a second, I better look up the word dojo first of all, because I know what it is. I've spent most of my life in a dojo, but what does that word really mean? And the word do means way. It's a way, okay? And jo is place, so it's a place of the way. Okay, if you want to think of it that way. And I thought, well, when you come to my studio, we are learning the way of drumming. It's a place to come and learn the way of drumming. Now, I apply a lot of my drum techniques to martial arts movements. Learning a song could be like learning a kata, where there's several moves and several motions, and you know, like even learning a cover song, you have to copy somebody else. And these katas were invented so many years ago. We're repeating history. So if I play a cover from a band from the 1950s, I'm repeating history. So there's a lot of reference, you know, but with a lot of my students, I'd say probably 50% of my students, we also talk martial arts in the drum studio, which is super exciting because that's two of my passions, is martial arts and drumming. So I kind of went with it and I kind of put it out there and people were like, we love it, you know, and my very good friend Murray Creed from Victoria, from Groove Studios, he's like, dude, I love the logo, I love the name. And it's almost like when you get approval from some of those guys, it's like, okay, you know, I'm thinking this is cool, you know, and I have some friends from karate saying, hey, you know, that's cool, man, I like that. And I said, well, you know, we have room here. We could work on some training. We could do some kihon and some kata. There's lots of room in this area now. All the chairs are taken up. So that's kind of how that all started. And I'm sticking with it. I like it. It's cool. A friend of mine designed the logo. Purple. It's funny because I have a lot of purple Oralex here in the room. A lot of them either Oralexes at home. But purple was always sort of a neutral color that would be. He almost went with anything, you know, so he just sent me this purple thing, and I'm like, how did you know? And I like it, so it's kind of a cool thing, and I think that's going to brand me as an instructor and as a performer, but I'm having a good time continuing on with this, and thank you for continuing with me for the master classes and the in-person lessons and just the friendship and the support. And I think that's the biggest thing too. And I think any kind of like our dojo, our karate dojo, there's a friendship, there's a bond of people, and they all respect each other. And a big part about a dojo is respect. And I live by that reason. The word respect to me is huge in my vocabulary. And when people come here, I ask them to respect my equipment, respect my time, you know, respect when I'm talking, try not to play drums while I'm talking. I don't have a very loud speaking voice. I can't talk over drums. Drums are loud. So there's a level of respect. And I think it's just kind of a fun little play on the word that I used, and I hope it doesn't offend anybody out there. But I'm having a lot of fun with that. So yeah, that's kind of what that whole thing did. And you know, I set up an Instagram account, you know, M2 Drum Dojo, and just putting various photos and things that we're doing, master classes. We've got the master class page on Facebook. If you want to come and be a part of that, please come and request and or let me know through social media, and I can invite you to the page. And it's good to see that you folks, there's quite a few of you adults who become friends on that page. And my purpose of that page was not so much to promote myself. It was to build a community of drummers online again who can't see each other right now. And you know that there's quite a few local drummers here in the Vancouver area where we can't get together at clinics, at drum clinics where we can hang out. We can't, you know, there's things we just can't do. We can't go watch another drummer do a gig. This way, I noticed that you're kind of the, almost like the moderator for this whole thing, because you're posting videos and you're encouraging the other members, post the video, and I'm seeing more and more videos being posted. Friendships, when we log on to those Zoom lessons, you guys are all like, hey Peter, hey Susan, hey Deborah, hey Bruce, you know, it's like everybody's getting to know each other, and that's like so important to me because, you know, without a group of people that respect each other, what is it? It's just a bunch of people in their basement playing drums. And everybody's friends. So, you know, I'm hoping that with the pandemic hopefully clearing up, we'll do some drum camps this summer, and everybody will come to the drum camps. And we all can hang out together in person. So that's the biggest thing for me.
Well, absolutely. The master class, I'm really enjoying it. And like you said, showing respect for each other, creating this incredible community, and finding out how sharing drummers really are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
More than I found with other instruments.
Oh, absolutely.
Other drummers seem to really like to share. So, you know, me being your student, and I'm trying to convey what I'm learning from you to the masterclass students.
Sure.
Say, this is what Mike's challenged me to do.
Yeah.
This song, for example, here's my video of it. I challenge all you guys to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Show us you're playing. Don't be afraid.
And it's working. It's working. You know, like anything you build takes a while to build, and it's building. It's slowly building, but at least it's building, and that was a big goal for me. So, you know, it's always a risk in this industry. You never know. You know, it's easy to give up, but then when you give up, you're done. I learned that from Kenny Arnoff years ago. He says, once you quit, that's it. You're done. So never give up, never quit. And I don't know, what else am I going to do? I mean, you know, I'm doing some voice acting and some acting, but that work is so far and few between. It's almost harder than getting a gig nowadays. You know?
But you did some drumming on a movie that they were producing.
Yes, on the Mighty Ducks with Emilio Estevez.
Emilio Estevez.
that was amazing. It was funny how I got that gig. That's another story. But yeah, there'll be I think we're season 1, episode 5. You'll see me playing drums with a band, and there's Emilio Estevez, who's one of my favorite actors. You know, from.
Could that be a direction for him to drum dojo?
I don't know. I don't know. Guess we'll see. I've got the word out there, you know, that to my agent that I do a lot of things, you know. I get a lot of auditions, but then again, sort of a lot of people. So it's kind of like back in line again when I first moved to Vancouver in '94. How do you get those gigs? You got to keep it alive. You got to keep the ball rolling. When people ask me, I had someone say, "Man, I've been noticing these shows that you've been doing with John Cameron, and they're posting this stuff on YouTube now, and you're sharing it on social media." They're like, "Man, like, how did you get that gig?" And it's like, you know, you get to know people, you stay in the industry, you work hard, and the harder you work, the luckier you get. And I'm very fortunate to have that gig, but that's a big gig for me, right? This year it didn't happen because of the pandemic, but that's okay. We're watching it on YouTube, and I'm so excited to see that stuff. I finally get to see the show, you know, and because usually I'm behind, I just see the back of everybody's heads and the crowd, if the light's on the crowd. But it's nice to see the show. It's like, wow, you know, after all that hard work, it sounds great. So there's always room for growth in everything we do, I think, no matter what it is in life. But that's kind of what I've been doing, and I think we're just going to keep on plugging away. That's all I've got to say at this point, my friend.
Well, it started when I got back into drumming. One of the very first videos I saw on YouTube was Mike Michalkow.
Okay.
Teaching how to make the paradiddle faster, the single paradiddle. And
yeah.
I took that to heart, and I started from there. And now Mike Michalkow's grown into M2 Drum Dojo.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
And those performances that you did with that big band, that orchestra, I've been really enjoying those, watching those every night. It's actually made Christmas feel more Christmassy.
I agree.
And making me feel more uplifted.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there I see my drum teacher in the background on the drum set, playing with this huge orchestra.
Yeah, 38-piece orchestra, I think it is, and 152-voice choir, and all these wonderful singers and dance team, and you know, I miss everybody. Like if I'm starting to phone some of the people in the band just to say hello and wish them happy holidays and everything. And if I could phone every single person, I would, but we'd be here for a while. But you know, if anybody's watching this, you know, please know that I miss you all. We'll see you soon. You know, John Cameron wants to continue Crescendo as soon as we can, which is the big rock shows that we do with a 75-piece orchestra.
Well, you know, it's so hard with these times that we're in. There's so much negativity out there and high anxiety, but trying to look at some of the positives out of this pandemic. With this show that you did with John Cameron, may never have been viewed on YouTube if this had never happened, this pandemic, but because of it, it's been put on YouTube. What great exposure for yourself and
amazing.
For that project.
Well, it's funny because you know, I've never seen the show. Like I said, they've recorded the show, but they don't share it for various reasons, so they can get people in the audience. It makes sense. And I was talking to John this morning, actually on the phone, and I said to him, I said, you know, it's amazing to see the show. And he kind of paused, and I said, remember, I'm way up on the top, either reading music or staring at the backs of people's heads looking at a conductor. And I got a click in my ears with rhythm section, some horns, and singers, and that's it. And now you hear the strings, and it's like, wow, it's amazing how good these string sections are, you know, and you hear the whole thing. But, you know, it is wonderful. Like, it does feel like, you know, like I feel like I'm back home with all these great people, and it does bring the Christmas spirit back. And the fact that my kids were a part of that last year, we're hoping there's going to be a video released with the kids on it. In one of the videos, the kids are running Santa, so I see my boys run by, and you know, it's nothing prouder than seeing your kids on stage with you, regardless of what you do. But no, it's a pretty amazing thing, and I'm happy he's doing that because it's all brand new to me. So I'm always watching the YouTube, John Cameron's YouTube, to see that, you know, in 2 hours we're premiering the new video, and I'm like setting my watch like and I go watch it, and whether it's one of the ballads we do or one of the rockers we do, it's just fun to see and hear, and you know, everybody that was part of that production is just fabulous. So
well, with all the work that you've done and all of the gigs that you've done, shows that you've done, you probably don't get to watch yourself very often. What was it like for you to watch yourself with this huge orchestra that you'd never seen it?
Well, here's the thing. I don't like to watch my own videos, like when I did the DVDs and stuff like that for Drumeo and Railroad Media. You know, I'd watch the stuff when we were doing, you know, you know, before the pre-production stuff, before it was released, just to make sure that everything was good, make sure my voice wasn't cracking and things like that. But I don't like to watch myself on video. I don't know why. It's just, and it's not I don't know what it is. I'll probably critique myself. Once in a while you see something, you're like, oh, that's not bad. But when you're finally a part of something that's so big and so polished, and I was speaking with a guitar player this morning, and we had a nice conversation on the way here, and I said, I can't believe how tight that band is. Like, it's so tight. And there's only 5 of us on click. There's only 5 people on metronome. And I'm like, everything is so tight, and it's exciting. So that I want to watch. But you only see me on video for 5 seconds at a time. So I can tolerate that. If the camera was on me the whole time, I'd be like, eh. Like even when we start playing whatever it is, Drummer Boy or rock and roll, I'm just like, nah.
That was the most that was the most percussive piece for me. Was the little Drummer Boy.
Yeah.
I thought that was fantastic, having the drum corps online there in the stage.
Oh, it was amazing. You know, the Edmonton Football Club there, the drum corps. I've known Michael England for years, and he's another good friend of mine who we judged the Canadian drum line together. And to hear that he was bringing his drum line to do that show, was like, or that song for the show, I was like, well, this is awesome. You know, worked out the parts, and super cool people. Everybody's just so cool and fun. And yeah, so it's like, I can say a million times that I miss it, but we'll be back. We'll be back. So the rebranding is here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm always teaching. I'm teaching online, in person. I'm doing everything that I possibly can. So,
where do you see the M2 Drum Dojo in the next 5 years for yourself? Where are you hoping to go with it?
I would like to see master classes of 30 people or more, just because of that camaraderie we're all building. And then I'd like to see drum camps of at least 2 weeks filled with at least 10 people. You know, and rebuild stuff that I used to do in the past, whether it was down in the States or with Drumeo or whoever, and just keep building that relationship with drummers all over the world. I love it. You know,
fantastic.
You know, so that's one big thing that's the part of it. So, but yeah, so that's all I can say at this point.
Yes, I think the M2 Drum Dojo drum camps would be something I personally really would look forward to.
Yeah.
Would love to get back into that again.
Well, we were supposed to do something last year, and it got canceled due to the pandemic, so I think you got your refund, right?
We did get them.
Okay, good.
They were very good about that.
They were good.
That was fantastic.
Anyways, Peter, thanks, man. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate this. And this
thank you for talking with me.
Awesome, brother.
Appreciate that.
Stay healthy.
Yes, you too.
Take care.
Rock on.
I know.